Matt Stepp, Dave Campbell's Texas Football, back here at the Texas High School Coaches Association Convention in beautiful San Antonio, Texas. And we are here with the head coach of the Crosby Cougars, Coach Jerry Prieto. Coach, I appreciate you taking a few minutes to chat with us here at we're back. Football season is here, right?
It's right around the corner.
It's when you guys leave here on Tuesday after the regional meetings, I mean, the season's basically here at that point, right?
It is.
I mean, there's not you're starting to practice prep and getting the field house ready for get the pads organized and getting everything ready to go, right?
Yep, absolutely. And when we're back, football coaches work all summer anyway, but we're back full time starting Wednesday. So we're getting ready. We're trying to get everything set up and really diving deep into personnel and making sure all our equipment's ready to go and practices are planned. And I mean, it's right around the corner.
Yep. We won't look too much back at 2020 anymore, but before we get to 2021, last year's season obviously was such a special year for you guys. You guys got hot in the regular season early on. You guys were figuring some things out, but you guys got hot in the playoffs and beat some really good teams en route to the state championship game. That experience and practicing for those extra 6 weeks, especially in a year where practice time was so precious, how big is that going to be going into 2021 with what is a fairly young team at a lot of positions?
It is. We returned 3 starters on each side of the ball, but we returned about 25, 26 kids from that team that got those extra practices in, and I think that's going to be invaluable. And this was the first time in my short time here in Crosby we were able to do spring football, and I think that helped a lot. So, I think that has helped this young group grow a little bit faster than they would have if we wouldn't have had those extra practices.
So you said Crosby hadn't done spring. What was the decision? What went into the decision to go with the spring practice and starting a week later in the fall?
I've always been a big proponent of doing spring football. Just breaks up the off season a little bit, but we've always wanted to have a decent answer to a lot of our questions in May, or know what we need to do, what we need to improve on before we got to August, and have a little bit more time to work on some of our deficiencies and looking at our personnel and everything like that, and have some more time to fit guys where we think they need to be.
But you do get to start on August 2nd because you're freshmen.
Yes, sir.
You get to work with your freshmen. The UIL changed that rule, I guess it was about 5 or 6 years ago, because it used to be schools that did spring football, the freshmen couldn't even start on August on that first Monday. They had to wait a week as well, and it didn't make a lot of sense because the
they
freshmen
were way behind.
So how big is that to get that week to just work with the freshmen, and all your varsity coaches are there, and they get to work with the freshmen? How big is that for those young kids, their development, to get them integrated into your program?
It is, and we're really looking forward to it. We have some freshmen that we think are going to really be competing for some time starting as sophomores, and one freshman or two that might have a chance to compete for some time this year. So we're looking forward to getting our hands on them and really being able to focus on them. A lot of times during the season they kind of get left behind a little bit. You don't have as big a coaching staff working with them once you get into your varsity games, especially your district games. So, we're really looking to get hands-on with them and really get those kids going.
When you get to coaching school and you get to see all the guys and people you coached in the past or coach with, or you may even see. Have you run into any former players that are now coaches?
I haven't run into any former players yet that are coaches, but it is good, just to see old colleagues. I just spent a good amount of time with Cody Semper, one of my good friends who I worked for.
Saw him on the elevator this morning.
Yeah,
so he's a busy guy this morning.
He is, and so got to spend some time with him and just some other guys, and seen some coaches that I've coached with that have moved up to becoming head coaches, and just sitting down and talking through some things. And
you always can learn something, right?
Always.
You never stop learning, right?
Nope. Lifelong learners. They talk about it in the classroom. That's how we are in the football field and whatever our chosen sport is.
I talked to Coach Faircloth from P&G, one of your district rivals, earlier today,
sir.
And we talked about your district a little bit and how competitive it is year in and year out. And you guys traditionally have not been in this district. Coming into this district where you're playing schools like P&G, Nederland, you've always been with Barbers Hill, I think. But, getting into the Beaumont area, the 409 area specifically, what kind of challenges does that bring to your kids week in and week out playing programs like that?
Yeah, it is. Man, our district top to bottom is tough, and it's a dogfight every week. And we're playing a really tough non-district, and that's going to help prepare us for our district slate and get us battle tested.
Right?
Yes, sir. Carthage.
Yeah, they're no big deal.
Yeah.
Right?
You're
Carthage. Scheduling soft, Coach. What are you doing?
Carthage, Manville, PA Memorial is our first 3, and then we'll take a bye week and catch our breath. So
I'm assuming that schedule, there's a little bit of design there. But, you got Crosby's been successful, so, people aren't, chomping at the bit to play you guys either.
Yes, sir.
But, when you're creating your non-district schedule, I'm assuming you want to play those good teams because I'm assuming your district, you want to be battle tested, right?
Yeah, we do. We want to be battle tested. Obviously, we don't want to get hurt, but, it doesn't matter who you play. The injuries are a part of the game, but we want to be battle tested, and a big thing that we want to do is we want to figure out in those first 3 weeks before we get in the district, where our big deficiencies are. And, there's some teams where you can have those and get by, but when you're trying to look to play for district championships and win playoff games, you really need to find those things out weeks 1 through 3 instead of 10, 11, and 12.
For your ball club in 2021, what needs to go right if you guys want to continue to have the success you had last year and make that deep playoff run? What needs to happen for Crosby?
I think our offensive and defensive line play, that's going to be huge for us. The development of those kids and how they come and gel together, because our defensive line, outside of a couple games, was pretty dominant last year, and we lost 2 of the 3 starters. We do bring McCoy Casey back, district MVP on defense, so that's going to be a big help. But the development of our offense and defensive line is going to go a long way to how successful we are, especially early on.
Coach, we appreciate your time. Congrats on a great 2020 season. Good luck in 2021, and we appreciate what you do for student athletes in the state of Texas.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks so much for watching that video. If you would like more and to be notified when they come out, go ahead and click that subscribe button right down there. You can also watch Texas Football Today every day live at noon on TexasFootball.com, Facebook, Twitch, and right here on YouTube. For more of the best coverage of Texas football in the Lone Star State, go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe.